bro is somebody who I like super super support.
Oh yeah.
So when he was first telling me about your guys' battle and stuff, dude, I was like, he knows. Like he knows. Like I call him the Dana White of Crump because he knows how to put battles together.
Oh,
And
he
he
definitely does. Oh man,
and
he
so
does.
dude, I was like, so whoever this guy is has gotta be good. He's gotta be fucking there's talent there. And so yeah, dude, I'm really thankful to have came across you, dude. You're really inspiring as an artist,
Thank
like
you.
artist to artist. And you're so young, dude. I seen in your bio you put you're 25 years old.
Yeah, I just turned 25. It's February now, so yeah, like a month or two ago. Yeah.
Yeah. I had seen a birthday post you had put up, or it was like on your story or something. I remember I
Yeah.
chimed in. Yeah, dude. Happy belated, if anything.
Thank you.
25, repping the IE. Were you born and raised there, or where do you
No, I
come
was
from?
born. I was born in San Diego in Poway, and then I was moved around. I moved around a lot in LA, and then it wasn't maybe till like I can't remember. Maybe till like I was 8 or 9. 8 or 9, I moved out to San Bernardino over here with my grandparents, and then ever since then, I've been out here in San Bernardino, repping the IE. I mean, I'm always in
And,
LA, obviously for dance and all that, and then I love San Diego, culture shock, my San Diego family and Oceanside and all that. So, um, yeah.
man, I was just talking about Culture Shock with Ghost Crush and like how Culture Shock SD and just that whole family in general is like so heavily like interwoven, bro, in the community,
Mhm.
especially like the choreo community. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
And so you've been dancing for about 4 years, if I remember reading that.
Um, Crumping, well, like taking it very seriously, yeah, these past like 4 or 5 years. But I kind of was introduced to dancing, and I always had like a thing for it since I was about 7. But I
Oh,
was
okay.
like a street kid, like self taught. I didn't have like I wasn't a studio kid or anything like that. So I say I've been dancing since 7, but I haven't really taken it seriously until these
Mm.
past 4 to 5 years.
Yeah, and like really got after it doing,
Yeah, like
doing that YouTube grind.
just daily content experimentation out there competing and battling and like doing shows and everything. So
That's fucking dope, bro. Let's go. Um, what like who or what introduced you to dance?
it's gonna sound cliche, but I just kind of like it was a lot of just listening to like seeing Michael Jackson as a performer. Chris Brown was a heavy inspiration. Just like watching YouTube, man. Just seeing YouTube, seeing like the music videos and all that. And then I don't know, I just was like, would just dance in my living room, dance anywhere possible. And then I would see people dancing on the streets, like the b-boys. I saw people crumping, but I never knew what it was. Like I just knew people were like dancing. And I was just like, whoa,
Mm-hmm.
what is that? And then yeah, that's just kind of where it started, honestly. And then I just had a thing for it. And then as I got older, it would like come and then go and then come and then go because I was trying to find out what I wanted to do with my life. And
Mm-hmm.
then it didn't really click until these past couple of years. Till I was like, no, this is what I should be doing. So
Nice. And then who first got you around Crump, or how did you make that transition into the community?
I was dancing competitively, like on a collegiate teams before. So I was on 909 like around 2019. I was on 909 based at UCR, and then I was there for a couple years. And then I had transitioned to the side project because I had seen
Ooh,
the
shout
side
outside.
yeah, side by side, man. And I had seen them on like Instagram and YouTube, and like they were doing all these performances and everything. And like, that's what I felt like I was missing was like the culture because I was like, I love the collegiate scene for sure. And it was amazing performing and doing all those things. But I was like, I want essence. So then I went there.
Mm.
Next, you know, like, next thing you know, like I'm on a team with like crumpers and battlers and everything. People who are in the culture who are going into the community all around California and even all around the states who are just doing this thing. And that's where I met Childish. That's where I met Oxyfam. That's where I met Childish Fam. That's where I met like everyone, bro. They were all just, I was like, wow. And then that's where that transition came. That's why I was introduced. And that's why I give so much props to Childish. And I tell him, and I continuously tell him like how important he is to the new generation. And like, I don't think he realizes it, that like what he has done, like not for me, but for himself and for the community. And he was like my first introduction to like Crump. And then they had side project had Trinity and Hybrid come out for a workshop. And that's kind of where it happened, where I was like, dang, like I kind of want to get into this. Like I'm over here doing hip hop and pop and rock and all this other like all styles, but I was like, it was new, it was uncomfortable. I think that's the key word. It was uncomfortable. And then that kind of took off right there. And then I just wanted to keep learning from Childish. And I had the opportunity for Oxyfam to like take me in, even though I had zero experience of Crump or what I was doing or anything like that. And then next thing you know, I'm here after 2 years. So
Yeah, dude, you have arrived, my young friend. You have arrived, my young
yeah.
friend. Oh my god, dude. And it's really it's
Oh,
really like it's really baffling to me, where I don't think that, like, to me, I feel like, yeah, Childish doesn't really know the impact he's made. Um and and people like me who scream his praise, I don't post about it. I don't really do this and that about it with him. If anything, I just give him his praise directly. You know what I mean? But I feel like, me as a homie, I should do more about that. Like, you know what I mean? And really sing his praises, because I don't think he gets it enough. Even though most people know, like, oh, Childish is going to support. If he pulls up, he's going to have a good attitude. He's going to bring good energies, all this stuff. He doesn't ask for a lot type shit,
mm-hmm.
and he's always down for the Crump community. And Oxy too. Oxy was like, to me, was like one of Childish's roll dogs, you know. And then now to see Oxy bringing in heads like you and his whole fam, like he's bringing in heads and just training them up, boom, 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 and getting it rolling, man. It's tight. It's tight to see you guys work, man. And shout out Side Project, bro. I didn't know you were a part of Side Project.
Yeah.
They're fucking tight, dog. Oh my god, bro. Yeah, I used to be on AOV back in the day.
Used to
Um
be used to be on what? Sorry.
on Academy of Villains on AOV.
Oh, Academy of Villains. Yes.
Yeah, bro. I got on like 2013 status, 2014.
Okay.
Um like right when they moved to LA. So like
Mm-hmm.
the beef with GRV, all that shit. I went through all that shit with them, and it was
That's
nuts,
crazy.
bro. Hey, shout out GRV, shout out my homies from GRV. I love y'all, man. It was all
Shout out
just,
studio. Shout out to studio, man.
man, shout out the fams, man. Like it was all love. Like it was funny. Like we would talk about it, and it was like, it wasn't even really us who was beefing. It was everybody who was like our fans, like, our supporters. They were beefing with each other, which was
Yeah.
making it seem like we were, but it was just like, nah, we're just competitive. We're mad. We're gonna talk
Yeah.
shit. You know how it is in Crump. Like, we're gonna talk shit, bro. Like, nah, your routine's whack, bro. Like, watch this
Yeah.
shit.
Bro.
Um,
It's part of the
that
game. It's all part of the game.
Yeah, the competitiveness, man. Like, that was one thing I feel like gave me that, or like when you were saying like that feeling of like, this is uncomfortable, this is strange, like I'm doing these different styles, but then this Crump thing comes along and it's challenging. You know what I mean? It challenges me, and I think that's what makes it so fun. You know.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say is like your favorite part of Crump? Like sessioning, battling, just going and being around, the different events.
Oh my god. I don't know, because I feel like it's always. I feel like it's been changing the every like couple months of like what I start to really enjoy. At first it was like at first it was sessioning, and then I think it was after that just I think at first it was sessioning, and I think now it's starting to turn into I think battling. And then it was like like I still really love battling, but also now like creating, because
Mm.
I feel like there's, of course, you can create and create and create with all the other styles. There's so much more, but I just feel like Crump is just the most raw expression there is, and it's so unapologetic that everything that I create with it, whether I'm dancing to Crump tracks or not to Crump tracks, it's the same authenticity that I'm always gonna
Mm.
get out of myself, out of myself. So I think right now, especially just recently battling, I don't know what it is about battling. Every time I battle, I want to battle again. But yeah, I really like battling a lot just because it reminds me of like the stage a lot. Battling reminds me of the stage. And then yeah, creating has just been like my thing. I've just been really wanting to do, especially just dropping a new project. And then recently battling, I've just been like hungry of like releasing content. Like I have like 5 videos like ready to go in a matter of a week. So I think right now it's the creating the Crump. Like I want to do what I was doing for my all styles now for Crump, and I just want to shoot with it and like keep going. So I think that's like my
Yeah.
favorite part right now is that stuff that's going on.
Yeah, I seen that you just released a video, like a concept video. What was it, yesterday or the day before?
Yeah, I think yesterday. I'm just losing track of time, but yeah, yesterday,
Oh
Sunday.
my God, so much stuff and so many people I follow. And I try to share. I'm sorry, guys, but I try to share as much as I can. And I know I missed some shit, but it was like, I definitely remember seeing that. Can you give me some backstory on that? What's the juice on that?
So basically, um, that project was going to be in dedication to my best friend who had recently passed a little bit more than a year ago. Because I had just released one 2 years prior to that, and then he had passed, and then I just knew in my heart because I would dance on stage with him. He was dancing with me ever since we were in high school. So he's the one who introduced me to the collegiate scene. He's the one who introduced me to 909. And it kind of saved me. It kind of saved me. So when it happened, I was like, I'm gonna do something for him, and I'm gonna do something for me, and I'm gonna make it bigger than my last one. And when it happens, it happens. And then I hear the song, it instantly clicks, and the vision went straight to my head, and I said, "Perfect. Now we just got to work on it." And then with the new transition into Crump and my new identity and like finding myself, with ToyBoy and my like my war paint, my makeup, and the costumes and all the kind of like metaphors and everything that would intertwine with that project that I haven't really talked about. There's just so many meanings and all the things that I put into it that are just so personal that it just completes it. And then um yeah, that was basically how it came about. A dedication to him, a dedication to me, like my present life, the new chapters that's happening for me, especially coming out 2024. Because I feel like coming out 2024 was like big, super big, especially with the battle, especially with this project. Like it was a lot for this January for me, and I didn't realize it because I was working on it for so long in 2023 that it was just such
Mm.
a long process. You know, the battle was ready to go 6 months, 8 months prior. My project was going 6, 8 months prior, and then it just all came out and happened at one time. So
Nice. Nice. I like that, dude. I like when
oh
battlers
wait.
or any kind of.
Hold on. I'm losing signal from you. I'm not sure if it's my end or your end.
Oh
Can you hear me?
no. Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
You keep cutting out. Try it again.
Yeah, can you hear me? Let's run a little test, test,
Oh,
test, test. Little mic check, mic check,
okay, go ahead.
mic.
Try again.
Yeah. No, I like when dancers and battlers put an extra little layer of thought and like meaning and behind what they're doing, whether it's face paint they're wearing or the shoes they got on, the shirt they're wearing, or whatever. And as I was watching the video, I was like, damn, I was like, he's put a lot of work. And I could just tell from the production of it, I was like, he's put a lot of thought and a lot of work into this thing.
Yeah.
Um, and you said that took up most of your 2023 doing that one.
Yeah, I started the process back in yeah back. I started mentally working on it like on paper and like really getting it back in like I think June, and then it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't until like practice and rehearsal started around September.
So, do you think what do you think was your biggest challenge going through it? Was it like just creating it with the busy schedule? Was it like the emotional part attached to it?
Oof, I think it was all that what you just said. Honestly, I found I think the easy there was no easy part for me besides I think the easiest part out of it was the like just choreography, and I wasn't worried
Mm-hmm.
about choreography. I was worried about it being good enough, like
Mm.
in all cylinders. And it was the emotional side of it because I told my cast and my members that they knew who they were doing this for and they knew what everything was about. So I told them there were so many times practice days rehearsals because I had written down the schedule months in advance. I wrote down everything and the dates and everything, and I just felt so overwhelmed with like should I get this done earlier? I had a lot of people drop. I had almost 20 people in it, and then it dropped to like 10, and
Oof.
I kept getting worried like like is it not going to come out? Like should I just drop it? Like is it not enough people? Um, and there was times of rehearsal I would come and I would just be honest with them, and we would have rehearsal, and I would just hey guys, thank you for pulling up and always being here. But I truly honestly felt like just dropping this project like right now. I felt, and I even felt like cutting it earlier than I did. I almost wanted to finish it back in early December, like the week of December. But I stuck to it and I said, you know what, trust your process that you already have given, like you've given yourself. This is what you did. Trust that person who did it before you and let it happen. And next thing you know, yeah, we film at end of January, and then Oxy handles the filming and the editing and my production. And I had a great creative director. Shout out to Seji, director of Side Project, and they helped me put it together. Um, and that was that.
Nice, man. Dude, and it's something too when you finally like put it together and you kind of watch it come in to its fruition. Yeah, there is I've dealt with that so many times, bro. Like, is this good enough? Like, is this good enough for me to put out to the world? Is it what I first imagined, or did it become something else?
Mm-hmm.
You start off with 20 people, dude. There's been so many videos that I've put together where it's like 15 heads, and then by the time we shoot, there's like 6 of us, 7 of us,
Yeah,
because and you don't get to do all the formations and transitions and
yeah. So many changes that have to happen because of
oh
it.
god, dude, that's one thing with Crump that I learned how to like really correlate with choreography was the layers. Like you make a piece of choreo, which is cool. Then you start adding in the layers of like, okay, what is this side of the formation going to do? What is this side of the formation going to do? Is there going to be levels to this shit? Or are people going to hold on this side and do a follow along and catch up on this side? Like how does this all does it even look good on camera? Is this going to
Mm-hmm.
look good on because some stuff looks cool with your naked eye, but some shit don't
Yeah,
look good on camera,
yeah.
and we learned that in battling too. Like, yo, this is shit, like, that shit was so buck when I did it, but you watch it on camera, it's like,
But you're like, all
wasn't
right,
that
that
bad?
was actually not so good. But
Not so good, but in the moment, like, but which that's what I hate trying to judge battles through videos, and also just judging battles in general
uh-huh.
because my naked eye tells me one thing, being there and feeling it tells me one thing, and the
Mm-hmm.
footage tells me one thing. But is the camera properly catching this moment? Is it at the right angle that the move dictates it be viewed at? Because
Yeah.
if it's not, then you're not getting the real of what this
Mhm.
fucking hat trick was supposed to be,
I get
or
you.
this
I get you.
so that's one thing that always kind of makes me pause before I try to judge a battle. It's like, hey, you're just seeing it from a certain perspective. I wasn't even there, or oh, hey,
Mhm.
I am here, and maybe I'm just a little juiced up, and whatever the case might fucking be.
Mhm.
So one thing I definitely wanted to ask, because dude, your character work and the persona that happens is so it feels like it fits so well on you when I watch you dance. Like it fits.
Yeah.
How did you come up with ToyBoy? Where did that come from?
It's so crazy because there's so many people who like say like, dude, it just fits, like it's perfect. And I'm like, dude, like it does, because it just came that day when Trinity and Hybrid came for that workshop. Like we were in the middle of their like their teaching, and we're like doing some drills, right? Like, all right, first stance, second stance, and then all of a sudden, like this voice in my head, like just says like ToyBoy. Like it literally like just comes like boom straight to my head, and I hear it, and I was like, is that me? Is that like my heart? Like, is that like something that's telling me like this is who I am? And then I told Trinity straight off the bat, like as soon as we finished workshop, I came up to her and I came up to Hybrid and I said, yo, I'm ToyBoy. Like this is who I'm gonna be. I don't even know what the future's gonna intake or how it's gonna go, but I know that's my name. And there are crumpers who don't even have their name yet, or their other persona or their character yet, and maybe they just have their fam name, and it happens. But it came just like that, and then it just started to slowly unravel. The more I started to lab, the more I started to see crumpers, the more I started to watch YouTube videos, the more I started to see tournaments and battles and people, and I was trying to find who I was in this crump game. So having someone like Oxy and my homie and all the other little homies, and being so close to Childish and the rest of the Childish fam, and now the Juvies, which is like a group of IE people who were just putting up all these events together. And it just started to click easier and easier and easier and easier, working on like, who is ToyBoy, and who is this Oxy? Is it a persona? Is it an attitude? And it started to really click then. And it really didn't really click until my battle with Z. That was when it all started falling into place, because I was like, I don't look like these guys. Like I don't look like these crumpers that are just buck like this. I don't buck like them. And I was really trying to find my buck. And then I started to come across a lot of Riot's videos, and then I just started to see him, just like what he was doing, this character work, this essence that I was like, wow, like I was just completely inspired by. And then one day here in my room, I had gotten some makeup, and I was like, I used to be an actor. I used to be a performer. So I was like, maybe I've always been a costume kind of actor, like put on a costume and then I tap in. So then I was like, let me try this makeup thing. Let me mess with some stuff. And then I've always felt like ToyBoy was someone who embodied the youth. I've always talked about like my brand coming up, playful and foolish, being young, naive, being a little kid. And so I've always felt like ToyBoy was that. And I've always said ToyBoy he's like a demon trapped inside of a puppet's body, and he is the essence of our youth and us just wanting to be free. So I had just really, when that came together, it just clicked. So when my battle with Z was coming, I wanted to really come out, show out. I had asked Street Voice to make a track for me, which was my first track. And I was like, I really want to just come out, show out, man. It was such a huge, very important battle that I had all my friends there. My family was there. Everyone knew my family was there. Like, it was so important. And I was supposed to battle him months prior. And I was like, no, run it back. I was like, no, run it back, man. I didn't get that chance. I didn't get that opportunity. I fell short in the battle, and I was like, no, this is it. Like, this is it. I want this. I want this really bad. I want it for myself. And then it clicked. And then my Jack in the Box concept was just like the icing on the cake of really finding who I was. I was talking to one of my old homies about it, and the concept came, and it was just perfect. And then that's where it started to click. ToyBoy was just gonna be that, of playing that little kid playing with toys, a little kid who likes, I don't know, it just fit. It just fit. And then I just kept playing with it. It just kind of shot from there. I started really working on a lot of concepts with toys. I'm working on stuff with yo-yos. I'm working on stuff with like anything you could possibly think of, and then the like the evil side of things. This is like the bad side is like the sinful part of us, like guns and like explosives and like things that I can just use for battles and things that like maybe we as human beings almost feel like we have to kind of like turn our cheek to because we might enjoy.
Mm.
I've talked about
Oh.
this with the juvies that like I was like it was like this is a very like I don't know how to say it but a very like scary thing to talk about but like people say like people who are like um murderers and pedophiles and like people are like really bad people that it's genetic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I had recently brought up the idea of like maybe I'm scared to ever do something like that because I feel like I might enjoy it like in a
Mm-hmm.
very like evil way like but it's human, it's still
Mm-hmm.
human. And so that's where like the kind of like the scary part of it and like the really like the ugly side of me. So when you see like the character and it just pops out, it's just like very grotesque, very that character. And so I started to just click more and more, and I was just like, bro, like let it out, let it out, let it out. The battle where I didn't end up battling Z and ended up battling Young, proven maniac, like I just was so caught up in my mind, and I wasn't letting it out. I wasn't letting it out when I was watching Crumpers and people who were just so buck, and I was like, damn, that's amazing. And I was like, what is it? What is that? And they're like, bro, just like let that shit out.
Mm-hmm.
And it started to come out. It started to come out. That battle at Playgrounds, it was coming out. And at that point, I was so ready to just keep going, keep going. I was still hungry and I wanted to battle more. I got the opportunity from Childish again to battle, and I was able to battle Junior Bino. And that was the whole thing where I wanted to tap in way more. It was a point to where like I really want to show people who this side of me, this who ToyBoy is. And there was one thing that Childish always said to me that really stuck out was like, you made your name more known than your fam name. And I felt like that really resonated because it was for me to really stick out because I feel like
Mm-hmm.
I needed to stick out. I can't buck like certain people. Like I don't always look like Oxy, and he's always preached that like I don't have to look like him. But I was like, I want to like kind of you kill it too. I'm like, you kill it, he kills it. You're like, y'all kill it. Like I want to get there, but I wasn't. It wasn't clicking, and he
Mm-hmm.
gave me the tools and the opportunities to mesh things together, and I finally was able to let go. And so ever since then, like ToyBoy's just been able to really just elevate and elevate, and I've just been able to find more and more things about him and about me and myself. And I think it's just the things that like scared to not show. So
Mm-hmm. Dude, there's a thing I took. I used to work for this company called EDN, and it's Everybody Dance Now. It was like an after school program. And
mm,
they had us they had us do this like teacher workshop, right? And it was like with a super older woman. And she was teaching us like these philosophies that surrounded dance. And she was saying that we use dance was first used as a sublimation for our basic instincts and our basic emotions, right? Lust and happiness and sadness. Um and so I was like, what was it? To deny our or no, it was to give into our inner impulses.
mm-hmm.
And so then I watched like the movie The Matrix like religiously, bro. Like I swear we're in a simulation, whatever, but I watch it all the time.
Yeah,
Um and there's a part where one of the characters tell Neo, the chosen one, he goes, to deny our inner impulses is to deny the very things that make us human.
it's human. Yeah,
So murder, bro, and brute force. Like we're naturally, that's just who we are. We're good people, we're good upstanding people because we don't murder, because we don't steal, because we don't act violently or act outrageously.
mm.
That's what makes us good people. But
But it's the other side. It's that the other side of things.
it's our inner impulse, like that's what makes me human, bro. Like sorry about it. So minute that I'm gonna dance in this round, I'm gonna give in to those inner impulses real quick. I'm gonna see what this feels like to not worry about all these stipulations and rules. These rules you guys try to put on me. I don't like you, bro. Like the way I hear you talk about dancing is a thought train, bro, that I had so many times. Like, I don't dance like you guys. I dance different. Like, I'm
Mhm.
corpse, bro. I'm a dead fucking body, my guy. Like, and I dance like a fucking zombie, bro. Like, and now I've been having trouble like with the style change, trying to pick up like more of a feel of like mastery, Beast, where Bruce Lee, or where the Avatar, control all these senses and be more controlled in my dancing. That's why I do Darth Maul, because he's a Sith Lord.
Mhm.
Um, so it's tight, man. It's really tight to hear how you're like kind of stepping into your style, because your style fits you. The way that you move and all of that, the paint, the music choice, all of it, bro. You got it. You got it going on right now. And I could
Mhm.
tell though, there's more to squeeze. You can squeeze more out of it. And matter of fact, Z had sent your battle from the rookies tournament. He sent it in the fam chat. I was like, yo, he's not even done yet. Like he's not even done. Like the character part is settling into him. Let the skill catch up, bro, and this motherfucker is gonna be crazy. You're gonna get far away. You're gonna get a real far away, man. What's some goals? What's some, because you weren't even Prince Oxy when you battled Z. You were
I was
Kid
kid.
Ox.
Yeah, I was kid.
Now you're Prince. So that's a big level up.
Mhm.
Fucking salute to that too, man. Shout out Oxy.
Thank you. Thank you.
What's some other goals you got? Like, what's some goals you want to have achieved, let's say by the end of this year, because it's still young in the year.
Probably by the end of this year. I think one of my bigger goals is right now. It's crazy because like I was just talking to my fam about this and like a lot of other dancers. Like it's for this year. Like I kind of just want to. I want to say chill, but I don't think it's gonna happen because of how I came out, like of where like where I'm going and like where I should like my momentum that I have right now. And the goal was to work on my body, like getting surgery done because I have this condition that I need to get fixed in my arm. So I just really want this to be done because I don't have full range of movement on this left arm. So I feel like it's limiting for me from being my like fullest potential to really like shoot like physically because I feel like me here and like the talent that I have is here, but if my body can't catch up, then
Mm,
I won't reach it, right? It's like if you
mhm,
how can you expect to lift 280 but you're not going to the gym to lift 280, but your mind knows you can lift 280, but you're not training. So I
mhm,
want to get that done in summertime when things kind of slow down for me, and then I'd have to go through recovery, and that would probably be like 6 to 12, like depending 6, 8, 12 months, just depending, and I'd have to like work at it again and start over. So right now, dance and crump is just kind of like it's it's just lab. If I battle, I battle. If there's an opportunity to do something or go somewhere, that would be great. But my overall goals is to be able to battle more later on in the future for sure. I want to battle at the corner session. I want to battle at Wastelands. I want to battle in Arizona, and I want to battle in Europe. Like I want to travel doing this. I want to travel doing this. Like for sure. I want to bridge a gap that side project has always been trying to put, which is bridging freestyle in the community into like competitive and like social media and like bring it together. And I think that's like one of my bigger goals is to be like in that gap, that bridge, be one of those people. Like there's the battlers and the community, then there's just the competitive scene and like social media people, and I want to be like that in between where like I connect it all, and like that's what I want to be known for, um being like truly myself. And I think why ToyBoy is so important to me because it's like it's me, it's my identity, it's my brand, and it's gonna be like my legacy. And I think I've just been really trying to like push it hard, hard, hard. So that's just kind of like my general goals. But like I said, right now, this 2024, hopefully getting those things fixed and all figured out. So then by 2025 comes around, then that's where I can start, you know,
Man,
push pushing
man,
hard again and going out and doing that stuff. So I'm looking forward to it.
dude, do you have? I mean, you have all the momentum and all the talent. You know what I mean, and the support to really do those things, bro. You know, and for me, like, like the moment I stepped in, it was like I started taking battles, and then I was Baby Dread. So then I'm battling under Dread's name, and then I'm Junior Dread. Then I'm doing that, and then the first rookies tournament with the Beast Camp won it, and it was like, bro, I was just boom, 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 just doing these things. I was like, you know, I feel like I didn't have the time to enjoy it the way I wanted to, you know, and so that's kind
Mm-hmm.
of where I've been at. Um, you know, because I've been living pretty much on the road the last like 2 years, 2.5 years. So I'll end up in one city and I'll try to go hit a session, you know. I was in Key West. I was living in Key West for like 6 months, 7 months, and driving to fucking Miami, which is 4 hours in one direction, driving to
Oh man,
Miami for events and battles and driving back. And it's fun. Like, you know, it's you turn it into a trip. You know, you get a couple of the homeboys like, hey, we about to get this busted out fucking hotel. I'm gonna go dance and we'll
and
hit the bar afterwards. You know what I mean? Just
it's
turn it
part of
into
the
a little
experience. It's part of the experience.
bro. And nobody does it like like dancers and musicians are the craziest lot of people because it's like they will pack up 10 heads in a 2-bed fucking hotel, and it's like, yo, we're
Yeah,
gonna rotate who sleeps on the bed. You know what I'm saying? And tonight's your night. I got it tomorrow, like for
for
real.
real.
Oh my god, what's the furthest? Where's the furthest that you've went so far with Crump?
Oh man, 8 hour drive to Santa Rosa, NorCal.
Yeah, fuck that.
It's crazy, dude. Cause like I've been so in love with it, bro. I've been so in love with it. Where Chada's just like, yo, he's like, I got a battle up in NorCal, and I have an open bed in the hotel. You don't even have to pay for it. Like, you know, if you just want to just come to come, you know, like I'm gonna be
Mhm.
flying out there, but there's extra space. So I was like, bro, like I'm just so in love with it. Like I just, and it was still when I was still kid. It was still when I was still kid. I was still figuring myself out a little bit more, and I just like I'm gonna fuck it, like I'm gonna go drive to NorCal, 8 hour drive, take a trip for Buckness for whatever it is, and I wasn't even the one battling. I just wanted to go and be a part of the community, and because I actually went to NorCal 2 times prior to that because it was for playgrounds,
Mm.
and it was for side project for a competitive show. So I was there. I knew about the fam out there, everyone out there, and like I knew about the crews and all the battlers out there and all the fams, and everyone was so great, so nice. And I was like, bro, I really want to come back. My first time out in playgrounds, I got to battle Prevail. That was amazing. I got to meet
Hey,
some Concrete fam members. Like shout out Ao, I love him so much. Um, Rose Gold, and then I was like, I want to go back and see them again. So I made that drive, got to see them. I got to battle Bravo. That was amazing. That was super fun. Um, yeah, I was like, I'm going. I was like, I'm going for this street session. I was like, I am going for this street session. I'm gonna battle someone. I don't care who it is. Someone step in the ring. I want it. And then I'm gonna go enjoy my second day and just watch. Cause like what you said, like sometimes we just like get so caught up in like doing these things. And I was like, I want to enjoy myself and watch. And I was able to sit there, watch 6, 8 hours of just straight Crump and just like, wow. And everyone did amazing. People were crazy. I was just like, like, I just wish I can get here one of these days. And that was a great trip. So yeah, that's my farthest so far. Yeah, 8 hours. I think next is Texas. I'm gonna go out there. That's the next one. And then hopefully I want to hit like East Coast stuff there in the future. And then after
bro,
that, Europe.
bro, Texas. I shout out Texas, man. I love the fucking Texas community. Austin, San Antonio, Dallas, love them, man. I got homies in Houston, and I was gonna pull up with them because I'm real cool. I'm pretty cool with the director of So Real, Andrew
Mhm.
Batterina.
Yeah.
And so he was having a show, and then Judge hit me up and was like, "Hey, we're having a show." And I was like, dude, Andrew just told me all this shit, but we were working like 14-hour shifts, bro, at work, and I couldn't make it. And so I'm sorry, Houston, I haven't been there yet, but I know you guys are probably phenomenal. Not doubting that at all. But those 3 cities of Texas I've been to, danced in, and bro, it's tight. They're good people. It's a lot different than Cali.
Mm-hmm.
Cali's hostile, like
No, really,
150%, bro. It's
150%.
hostile, and that's one thing. And I don't know if you maybe ever felt this way, but it's like it's a hostility that I appreciate
Mm-hmm.
because it's like there is a gatekeepy kind of feel where it's like we're trying to protect this thing of ours, like this thing that has brought me to this parking lot in North Hollywood at 2 a.m, driving an
Literally.
hour, from Oxnard. I drove up an hour
Yeah.
from Oxnard. This thing, I don't want you to fuck it up.
Uh-huh.
Don't bring your bullshit over here. So yeah, we are a little aggressive. Yeah, we're going to tell you you're whack, and you're going to have to fight to get into the session, like
Mhm.
I don't know. Crump has definitely gave me that protective vibes from time for sure, especially in
Mhm.
Cali. Dude, that's so tight, bro. Like, I'm so glad having a chance to like really talk and like get you to expand on some stuff, man, because I feel like we get so caught up with just the dancer and how good they are and if they can judge a battle.
Mhm.
But it's like, okay, you're buck, but are you buck in real life? Like, you know what I mean? Like in life. Like
No,
in
for real.
life.
Does it reflect who you are outside of this as well? Like it's principle,
Yeah.
and I think it's very important. So I think for me, like I think that's why it's been so clicking. It's been clicking so well because I'm trying to practice what I preach, not just on the dance floor, but like in my outside life. And like I think
Mhm.
I've always felt my most confident when I know who I am. I'm standing by my morals, standing by like all the rules I set for myself. And I think keeping to your word is so important because I think you start to lose a little bit of yourself when you start to fall out with yourself like that. So I think that's what you're talking about, like trying to protect that. It is important. That's what I feel like. Yeah, I loved going out to NorCal, and I heard I think when they went to Japan, when Jackie and Hex and a couple other people, I don't remember who else, but they went to Japan and they were telling me like they don't, what was it? They don't do call outs. I think they don't do call outs.
Mm.
Yeah, I think that's what they were telling me. Hopefully I'm not wrong, but it was like out of respecting because they're at the session and they don't do call outs. They didn't do call outs. They didn't like battle each other right then and there or something like that. And
Interesting.
yeah, it was really interesting because I'm like, well, like this is what that's not the reason why I came to do this. I came to do this because I'm here for the buckness. Like this is what I signed myself up for. And if I didn't know what I was signing myself up for, I would have never done it. But this is what I came for. I came for this community to come in to be hostile, to be up in my face, for me to get packed out, for me to show up and I got 3 people ready to battle me, or my own fan member ready to battle me because he thinks I'm not doing good enough. Like it's so we can push each other, and the energy that we continue to just give each other is such a good high. And I remember coming back from NorCal with all that energy. And I was like, yo, it was so good to like really feel it here in SoCal and then bring it here and then it mix. And it's just like, yeah, I feel it. Like, why? Like, my family, like, I have to tell my family, yeah, I'm going to be home late because I'm going on a session. I'll probably be back like 3 a.m. Let alone, like, if they knew what I was doing at 2 a.m. dancing in the parking lot with a bunch of grown men,
Yep.
how does that look? Like, it's so weird. Like, why am I out here at 2 a.m. dancing in this parking lot with a bunch of grown men? Like, but I'm like, I love this shit, bro. Like, you
I
don't get it.
love it.
I
Oh
love
my
it.
god. Dude, when I first started crumping, right? I had like pipes bust right in the house, and so we were staying at this hotel. And I recently made a trip to Cali like 2 weekends ago or like last weekend.
Mhm.
Um and ended up staying in that same hotel. And my son's mom was there with me, and she's like, "Hey, you remember like when we stayed here? Boom, boom, boom." I was like, "Yeah." I was like, crazy enough, like this is where like I battled Facey my first my first crump battled Facey at the 818, and I remember
Mhm.
coming home, and bro, she had to like help me up the stairs. Like I'm like, because my knees were just so blowed the fuck out, and I was like not used to it. I would come home with shin splints all the time, and I just remember thinking like, this pain, like why am I doing this to myself? Like
Yeah.
why? Like it's 4 a.m. and my girlfriend is helping me up the stairs to get me to my bed. Like make it make sense. But I just love this shit. Like I
Yeah.
remember waking up the next morning just thinking like, damn, I love, like that was the best night of my life.
Mhm.
Like straight fucking life changing moment for me, you know. And I mean, I just haven't stopped it. I caught that crump bug, man, and just never got over it. I
Mhm.
love this shit. And kind of like how you're talking, man, like I'm and again I want to reiterate, dude, I'm so thankful for young guys like you, man. And especially hearing more how you talk about your craft and how it presents itself to you, the way that you want to present yourself to it. Like I'm so glad that like I'm kind of in a space right now where like I'm enjoying crump. I'm enjoying the people who are doing it well, you know, like you.
Mhm.
OGs like Riot, you know, my guy B Wilder, you know, people who do it well and represent it well. And I'm in a space, bro, where like I can interview you guys and
Yeah.
like have you guys talk, bro, because you gotta stand on business, you know,
Yeah.
your values and your morals in this dance. And that's kind of what makes it fun and challenging and this and like all of the stuff, man. So I'm really thankful, all of that to say I'm really thankful for young guys like you, because I hear your story and it reminds me why I do it, you know what I mean, after
Mhm.
God, still dancing after fucking 15 years of doing this bullshit. Oh yeah. So one last let's do two questions. Well, I have one that I always do, but this one, let's say Toy Boy is ruler of the world and there's three things he could change about Crump, immediately change them, what would it be?
Mm. Dang. Man. I I really don't have much to like change from it. Like I just all the bad and good I really like. It's just part of it.
Mm,
Like for me, I think the only thing that bothers me is what, but I understand where it comes from, is people not being able to separate the two, life and Crump, because
mm,
Crump is their life, but but it's also not, like,
mm-hmm,
if that makes sense. Like I mean, it could be the history, it could be, maybe your history with someone or with the crew or whatever the case may be. But I think for me, I feel like it should never be that. It's gonna sound really like not egotistical, like maybe like, oh, you don't have enough experience to understand why I get the way I do it. And it's not that. It's just like say say when I am with these around these grown men at 2 a.m. in the parking lot, and these grown men are fighting and arguing among each other, right? But it's part of it. It's the beefiness. I understand. But then it can get to a certain point where it's like it's unacceptable, where it can get violent, and or I feel like it should never be that serious, because at the end of the day, we all love this shit. Like we
mm-hmm,
all love this shit. And I think one of my like best examples of this is I forgot what night it was. I think it was a battle night. IE session with Childish and the Juvies, and we kept having this session at Redlands. It was in Redlands, and it was in this parking lot, and it was perfectly fine. The setting, no one bothered us, security, nothing. And then I remember two guys, I forgot who it was. I think it was Creed and some other people. I don't know. I think they were telling themselves they were OGs or something like that. I don't know who they were. I didn't know who they were. And I remember they were getting into it with them, and I think allies were getting into it too. And then I remember Ruin. Like I love Ruin, and Ruin was trying to be like the peacemaker. He was like, yo, like everybody just chill the fuck out. Like it's part of it. Like he was into it. Like let's watch it. But then also there's some point where I think he tried to de-escalate it because I think it was starting to get, it could have potentially like got physical. And
Mm-hmm.
I think people were like threatening people, like hurting and like killing people. And I think someone mentioned like bringing out a piece or something like that. And I was like, yo,
Mm-hmm.
let's not do that. Like, let's not do that. And yeah, it got pretty like scary to a point where like I felt like I had to leave. I didn't want to be there anymore. And then he was starting to get into it with Ruin, and then so Ruin was like trying to tell him like, yo, bro, like just relax. I'm not even saying anything bad to you, I'm not saying anything bad to him. Like, let's just bring it down a notch. And then he ended up taking it on Ruin, and then Ruin was like being very patient, and I think he just kind of made his patience run pretty thin, and then he started getting upset. So we had to like try to calm both of them down, and then security came, and then they told us to
Mm.
leave, and then we were like, yeah, we're never allowed to be back there again.
Oh my
So
god.
so we had to move the spot. We had to move our spot. That was peaceful. That was wonderful. That was bringing all these dancers together, and we couldn't be there anymore. And I think for a bit we had to keep. We had to keep. We had to. We I think we had to keep our IE session invitational. Like it's people who were like, hey, like, can I come? Like, is it okay if I come, or like, is it okay if this person comes? Because we had to be very specific on who's gonna be there, because this is our safe space. And because Crumpet's life and some of these things that what has Crumpet's done for these people, these OGs and all these other people, like have done amazing things. Like it's their prized possession. I understand. So I would understand why some people would get upset. But then what's one of the best ways to get to a man? It's his ego. And
Mm-hmm.
what else does that man have besides of just his crump or his dance? And then you want to talk shit about it, or you pop off on him, and like you end up one rounding the guy, and he feels like what? He feels like shit. His pride's hurt now, so now it's a whole battle, and has nothing to do with dance anymore. And that's what I feel like. If it is a dancing, if you have a beef with it, then settle it right then and there with dance. Don't
Mm-hmm.
be mad when your dance is not up to par to his, and then you get smoked out. It could
Yep.
happen. It could happen to any of us. It could happen to anyone. And I fear that day. I fear the day where like I'm like, oh, like I'm talking mad shit or something like that, and then I get one rounded, or I get shown out. Everyone's like, yo, bro, go back, go back to the lab, bro. Like,
You
you
should have
know,
labbed.
you should have laughed. But I think that's one of my thing where I think it's the only thing that kind of bothers me. Besides all the political stuff, I don't get mad about that stuff because I'm like, it's just it's part of everything. It's always something that's part of that's money or political or status or whatever the case is. I don't really get mad at that stuff. I kind of just throw it under the rug because I do it for what I want to do it for. So, but that stuff is when it kind of starts to bother me, where I'm like, bro, you're ruining this beautiful thing that we all have to share. Why
Mm-hmm.
are you trying to ruin it because of your pride, your ego? It all happens, and some people just can't separate the two. You can't separate
Mm-hmm.
the two, and that's your opportunity.
Yeah, there's a good chunk of people. I talked about this a little bit with Riot, where it's like they were 15, 16 years old knowing each other. They went to high school with each other, and now they're grown ass men still hanging out with each other, every 2 to 3 days out the week. And they got kids now. So it's
Yeah,
like, it's kind of like, because even with some of my high school buddies, I still make the same dick joke that I made freshman year, like with them, because
yeah,
they know that joke. Like,
yeah.
we still talk about, we can still talk about some certain funny shit that happened. So for them, they still talk about shit they did at 16 years old to each other. Like, you crossed me and now I'm mad. And they just never let it go. Like, it happened in
Mm,
Crump. Y'all already danced about this shit. You talked about it. Like, do you guys need to talk again, dog? Like,
mm,
and that's cool if y'all do, like, talk about it, but talk about it over there. We don't want to hear this shit. Like, we're trying to
yeah,
session, you know what I mean? And I get it, like, it's from the streets and this and that, and it's like, true, true, but like, did you love your life back then? Like, did you not wish it could be a little bit better? Did you not wish that it could have been a little bit safer, or that you didn't have to deal with X, Y, and Z back
mm.
then? So why are you bringing that here now?
Because it's always changing. It's changing.
It's supposed to be better. Like it's supposed, if we lab to get better, if we battle to get better, if we session to get better, why is this environment not improving as well? If everything inside of it is improving, like that doesn't make any fucking sense. Make it make sense. And I have a kid, and I remember there was an 818. Somebody was talking about, oh, I got that thing on me, and I remember I was like, I will fuck you up different. Like this is dance, dog. Like, what are you guys doing right now? Like, just like shut the fuck up and dance. And I just remember it was loud and everyone's yelling. And I just told my girl, I was like, yo, we're leaving. Like, we're fucking like we're out. Like, like I'll fuck you up different. Don't even talk. You want to run the hands? We can run the hands, bro. It's cool. But a gun, what the fuck ever. I mean, football, there's fights because guys get heated, you know, wrestling matches, basketball games. I've seen full fucking brawls during basketball games, you know, golf, guys get mad, you know, whatever. That's competition. But yeah, like knowing how to, like, dude, we're dancing right now. Like, what are we arguing about? Why are you calling me?
Like think about it from like a literal, like from like a very literal like standpoint. Like, what are you doing right now? You're at a parking lot at 2 a.m. dancing. Yeah. Like, don't get it twisted. Yes, it's our passion, it's our love, but like, look what you're doing right. How old are you? How old are you? Again, I'll respect, I'll love. This is some people's lives that they've been doing this for 10 plus years. I understand, but there's a certain point where like, that's all you feel like you deserve because you're stuck there now. You're stuck. You're stuck. And I've said it. I love crump. I love dance, but I've said this to, I think some OGs, I've said this to some older crumpers in the game where I said, I don't want to get stuck. Like, I don't want to get stuck. I don't want to get stuck like that guy. I don't want to get stuck like that guy. I don't want to get stuck. I'm going to continue to do me, but you're not ever going to catch me in the same place ever. And that's what it is. And I continuously try to find myself every other month, every other year. Like, I am not at the same place. I'm not. In a matter of 2 years of doing this, like, I don't. Like, you see dancers, you see crumpers, they're like, oh, I've been in this game for fucking blah, 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 for 5 years, 10 years. And I'm like, but you still look the same. You don't love the craft. You love this. You love the, like, feeling it gives you, because it gives you, like, strokes of ego and pride, like being a part of the game. Like, it's like but you still dance the same. And there's new gen and new people out here just going up and up and up. And I'm like, bro, I want the smoke. I'm here for it. Like, it's all part of the game. I love all the bad and the good, but like, don't get caught up in getting stuck like that.
Yeah, I feel like especially every new crumper I see, I think they're starting where I ended. So the better I get, no matter what, that's where these little fuckers are starting at. That's their starting. Like, that's their stage, because they have all the knowledge. And because if I took everything that I knew and poured it straight into them, then they know everything that I know, and everything else we're learning at the same time for the first time. So they already have a leg up. So fuck that. Like, I need to be dancing. Like, it sucks because I've been like by myself pretty much these last like 2 years, almost fucking 3 years on the road. So there's a lot of labbing in the hotel room by myself, and I have to like keep YouTube on and watch so many videos. I'm like, damn, I gotta stay inspired somehow, like somehow, some way. And I mean, thankfully, you know, Crump is filled with fucking talent, so there's a lot to pull from. You know what I mean? There's a lot to pull from. Yeah, man, dude, listen, I don't want to keep you up much longer. I do want to say thank you again, man, for coming on. Like, you're a plethora of inspiration, young man, and I hope you know that. I hope you run with it, but I really hope you know that, man.
No, thank you, dude. No, I really appreciate it, like, a lot. I always say, bro, my support, I'm nothing without my support. So it's really heartwarming, and it's really like, it allows me to push and keep going, because it's like, of course, like, I don't need anyone's approval, but when I understand that people are appreciating the art that I'm putting out, whether they like it or not, like, someone is seeing it, whether they're getting something from it, or not. Like someone's seeing it, and I think that's what really makes me happy. It's like the, I think art is so sad when it doesn't have an audience. So
Yeah. Yeah, man. Damn, that's so true. Listen, dude, hopefully we can do this again soon, man. And I know you got a packed, busy schedule, but hopefully soon, man, we can get back on here and have you celebrate some more of your victories. But if there's anything, my last question of the night is there any gem or little nugget of Toy Boy knowledge that you would like to leave the audience with for anybody who's going to watch this back?
mm, like advice, knowledge, or I don't know how to put it. Like
Anything. One last little sign off before we call it one.
um, one thing that just always that I always keep close to my heart, and I try to tell people all the time, no matter what they do, whether they're in like construction labor or they're a dentist or whatever the case may be. I always say like something that was told to me back when I was studying to be an actor and to be a performer was don't ever apologize for being you. Because and I want to dive into it a little bit more, like the story behind it. It's like the context was we were trying to. I was going to an academy, a private school, to be a performer, to be an actor, and I remember this girl. She was practicing. She was doing her own rehearsal with the director. Everyone else was sitting down, and she was someone who we all know these kind of people where you mess up or you're like you have a question. A lot of dancers do this. They go oh like oh sorry, like sorry to ask a question, or like oh sorry, like they're continuously saying sorry or like apologizing for something, but like even though it's like I want to say sorry because I'm interrupting you, and it's almost like a I don't know where it comes from, but we tend to do it a lot as a habit, and she kept doing that. The director was directing her, hey, try this, and there's no right or wrong answers, but try it this way or see how you feel this way. She would do it, and then he would stop her, and she was like, oh, like I'm sorry, and he would continuously say, stop apologizing. And she was like, okay, sorry. And he's like, no, like stop, like just don't. And I remember he just would say, stop apologizing. And then he said, stop apologizing for being you. And he looked at us and was like, you guys just continuously say sorry. And I was just like, wow. I was just like, it just kind of stuck with like the context of that. Like she is making a choice in her performance, and she's apologizing for it because she thinks it's not what he wants.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not the case. He's giving her the tools like what our big homies do. Like they go, hey, like what Oxy has done for me as of right now, where it's like, these are your fundamentals, these are some tools, these are some exercises that you can do. Here it is, but you got to come get it, and that's half the work. Now it's on you. I'm not going to teach you how to dance like me. I'm going to teach you to how you can find yourself and to dance like you. So it's just been something where I just keep close to myself, and like it just keeps me confident, keeps me focused, where I don't fall too far from where I want to be. Is don't apologize for being you ever. Whether that's you want to be a cook, if you want to be a painter, if you want to, I don't know, man. Everyone has a role. Everyone has a role. Everyone, there's always something. There's a reason why we do these things. There's a reason why we love dance. There's a reason why people are architects. We don't understand it the same way we don't understand them. The same way they're not going to understand us, and that's totally okay. And that's totally okay. You just gotta respect it. That's it. You just gotta respect it. You don't gotta like it. You don't gotta love it. You don't gotta want to be in it. You don't gotta be involved. But you gotta respect it because it's important.
Beautiful, bro. That's jaw dropping. My guy. My guy. Thank you for that. I'm going to play this back and I'm going to listen to that part specifically because that is amazing, bro. And I hope a lot of people write that one down, man. Dude, thank you. Thank you so much, bro. I'm gonna be shooting you a message in the DM right now, man, and we're gonna
Yeah,
chop it
bro.
up a little bit more, all right?
Oh, of course, bro. Yeah, I'm always down later on for sure, bro. You already know I'm about it.
All right, but I'll be hollering at you.
All right, later, bro. All love.
You guys, that was Toy Boy. That was fucking beautiful. That was a beautiful sign off. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure that you guys check him out. I'll get his Instagram linked in the bio. Um, the dude is a wonderful talent. He smoked one of my little homies and really caught my attention. And so I wanted to bring him on the show, get some young voices, young talent, all of that in here so that you guys can enjoy and kind of see where I hope Crump goes in this community of young leaders and young and just like young movers and young inspirers, like where they can go with this shit. Because that's a mindset that I had back then. And I'm just glad that there's young legs and young backs to carry the load. Cause my ass is getting old. 31 is not nice. So my ass is trying to stay in the gym. I'm about to go hit the gym right now. So hope you guys stay safe, stay blessed. Yeah, have a good day, week, month, year, life. Until next time.